May 30th?
Yes, and if I may.
So we want to let the public know that the amnesty program at the Municipal Court of Atlanta, how to clear a warrant without arrest, we have extended that to May 30th.
That is correct.
So let's push that out as well. I heard it was successful. At some point, Chief, you let us know that you all had a large crowd of about 100 citizens there getting that help.
And if I may, it was totally 500 that showed up, and we were out of the blue able to address 100 of those.
That's wonderful.
I would just like to say I appreciate your kind words. We are doing this for our citizens, those that have outstanding warrants that may not know it. In the state of Georgia, if you miss your court date, there's a warrant issued for your arrest. You have 2 days in custody, $200 penalty. And if you miss your court date for a traffic offense by more than 60 days, your license is suspended. A lot of our citizens don't realize that. They're on their way to proms, they're on their way to take pictures or work, and they get arrested. And as I've been stating for some time now before this commission, we have the infrastructure. And I would be remiss if I did not thank the mayor's office, COO Burks, Deputy COO Jason Ingram, Mr. Carter, Mr. Days, down to probation. This is a team effort. And it is so successful, we rolled it out for another 30 days. Please tell your family, friends, constituents to come on out and allow us to serve you. If I may.
Judge, if you all would do a big push with the media on that.
Yes.
However, our departments can help you with that.
Yes.
I was very happy to see this. I had not seen this in a while. Mr. Carter, thank you and your team for assisting with this, but let's do a huge media push on this because we can clear up another 100 if we all get together on this. This was very effective.
Yeah.
The Honorable Antonio Lewis.
The success of the program is due to the increased collaboration with PD's office, the solicitor's office. We mean business.
Thank you.
And we're highly effective in this regard.
And same thing, I just want to say thank you so much for this program. I know the moment I got elected, I started talking about it because I grew up watching it. I remember riding down with my grandmother when she would go down on that day. And I remember standing in the line and watching how excited people were. They knew they weren't going to jail. And I remember calling right now to do it now when I see young people like Peanut, the young man by the name of DeAndre, who called me in the morning. To go down and get it done, he was scared. He was scared. He said, they're going to lock me up. He got down there and he said, they're about to lock me up. You know who I called? I was able to call Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore walked out of his office and went and grabbed DeAndre and said, they're not going to lock you up, man. You're going to be okay. And he actually took care of him. So this is truly a program that's actually helping a lot of people. And so let's keep it going. I appreciate the month that we extended it. I hope we are able to do it every single year. I know as a person who grew up here, I knew they didn't do it anymore. That's why I was loud on saying we have to find ways to expunge records. That's what I thought the word was, but it was actually amnesty. That's why I was super loud on making sure that we help people in the city of Atlanta. So this is helping people in the city of Atlanta. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And let me be clear. When you come to court with a warrant, you present yourself, we set it aside. We don't take folk into custody. We put our citizens and those charged with offenses in a position to resolve these cases. Please help us clear it up. We're here to help.
He was scared. I'm telling him, when he called me, he said he's walking back to his car, and he was a little nervous, but thankful we was able to actually help him. And to extend it for an extra couple of for the time period that we extended it for is going to be a big deal for a lot of our citizens because young DeAndre, he heard about it later throughout the process. He didn't know about it earlier. So thank you for this. And it's getting loud right now on that.
Thank you so much.
Judge, question. Sure. How does a person check to see if they have a warrant? How can we check to see if we have a warrant? And I'm just asking because this happened to my elderly mother some years ago.
Well, I do know from my years at the district attorney's office, any citizen can go to the sheriff's department, 704, I believe it was at the time I was working there. I think it's $14. You can run your history, you can get a criminal history, and that will reveal if you have a warrant existing or not. As well, for individuals that would like to determine if their license is suspended based upon the failure to appear with outstanding warrants, they can also go to the DDS website and receive that information. And of
Give
course,
us that information because that's critical. That's a critical component that we need to put in a flyer
I think
that
that's
you may not
DDS.
be sure.
DDS.ga.gov, if I'm not mistaken, Georgia Department of Driver Services website. DDS.ga.gov. All you
Thank
need to have is your name or license number, and it'll give you your driving history and inform you whether or not your license is suspended and the steps you need to take.
Can we
to get
put that
reinstated.
on this beautiful flyer that's been all over Atlanta? Can
Sure.
we add that to the bottom of that flyer?
Make
This
sure
flyer has been,
Mr. Moore gets
this
that.
flyer has been all over Atlanta, and I want to thank you all for this. This is what citizens need, more projects like this.
We're going to keep them coming. So thank you, and if we may proceed with the
Mr.
second
Moore.
quarterly report. Mr. Moore.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of this committee. As we get into our quarterly presentation, as always, this is just a breakdown of the different divisions within the court. Last month, the month of March, we had a spike in building entrance by the public. As you all can see, of course, amnesty started on March 17th, so we did see an extra 2,000 individuals enter the courthouse from February, where we were at 27,000. For March, we were at 29,000. And I suspect, I'm 100% sure that April is going to be even higher, given the constant flow, daily court hearings that we've been having. So the public has definitely been in the building. Weapons and contraband that have been confiscated. For this year so far, we've had about 229. Total cases filed. We are so far at 36,495 cases. For the year, the entire year of 2024, we ended at 119,000. We are definitely seeing an increase in cases. If you can see from toward the bottom, in the month of February, we had 9,800 cases filed. The month of March, we had over 16,000, close to 17,000 cases. So case filings are definitely increasing within the court. Cases disposed. As we are getting increased cases coming in, we are attempting to keep up with that. So in the month of February, we closed 9,899. March, we picked it up to 11,855 to stay on pace to keep the clearance level at a good rate. Traffic cases so far, we have had 27,312 filed into the court, disposed 21,217 for a clearance rate of 78%. Criminal cases. And of course, as we always say, these cases take a little longer, more complex. This year we've had 4,481 filed, 2,748 disposed, clearance rate of 61%. Housing cases. We have seen a major uptick in housing cases this year. So far, we've had 2,176. We've disposed of 3,305. Of course, some of those cases are some that have carried over year after year. So there is a 100% clearance rate on that category since we disposed more than came in that respective month. FTAs, 10,445 so far this year have been filed, 3,114 disposed. A lot of these FTAs are being handled through amnesty. So they may appear high on this screen, but these people are able to come in and get these cases handled through amnesty. And which brings us to this slide. So far, we've had over 3,500 cases heard for the last couple of months. The average daily walk-in off the street, individuals coming in with the amnesty flyer. We average about 150 a day. Some days we are well over 200. As the Chief Judge said, 2 Fridays ago, there were over 500 people who came in. It was a madhouse, but we were definitely able to get at least 100 of them heard. The other 400 have been scheduled. Several of them have already handled their cases at our windows. And it was really a beautiful sight, if I must say, to see that lobby that packed. And, you know, people are actually happy to come in and get their records clear. With that, I have a list of thank yous also, and I wrote it down so I didn't miss anyone. The judges on the court, our full-time elected judges, have assumed a lot of these cases, and we've added to their dockets. They all already hear over 130 cases a day, so several of them have been reaching out, hey, I'll take 50 amnesty cases, I'll take 100 amnesty cases. So I'd like to thank the judges on the bench, our PROHAC, our part-time judges, as well as our senior judges who have retired and have come back to help us out to hear these cases. The staff, I have to say thank you to the staff of the court. They have been staying late with these calendars. We had an all-hands-on-deck approach. We mailed out over 50,000 letters to individuals to let them know that they had open cases and to come in and take advantage of amnesty. So I would definitely like to thank the staff of the municipal court, as well as the mayor's office, and their communications team is second to none. When amnesty first went out, I rode to work. I have a 12-minute commute. I heard the advertisement on the radio at least 4 times. So the airwaves were saturated. I got to make a television debut on Fox 5. So that was really a highlight of my career. So I would definitely like to thank the mayor's office for the teamwork and collaboration. I would like to thank you all on this committee. I've gotten calls and emails from several of you. I've seen you all blast that flyer out, had people reach out to us saying that they've heard from members of the community. So committee, excuse me. So thank you all. And I got to join in to thank my good friend, Mr. Raines Carter, who is my partner in crime, or clearing up crime. There's never a time that we have called Mr. Carter that he has not been willing to help. And so I would like to put it on the record to thank you, Mr. Carter, for your partnership, our probation department, JCS, as well as our public defender, Mr. Ken Days. And with that, I will take any questions if you all have any. Oh, Amber Robinson also. Amber worked on the committee. I'm sorry, Amber. She has been pivotal also in this project.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Come on up. We'd like to thank you publicly for what you have done in your space. And also, you come on up, Ms. Hala Carey in your department has gone out to talk about safety for our seniors, and you have worked hand in hand with these judges, and we'd like to thank you.
I just appreciate all of the comments, but this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're all about. It's about public service, and I just want to turn it around and also thank the City Council for all the support that we receive. I want to thank the administration for all the leadership that it gives. I want to thank specifically the law department for the guidance that it gives. And this is what we're all about. So we're just very happy to serve. Appreciate it.
And thank you all for extending this. We appreciate it. Very well done. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next, Mr. Lee Reed, Atlanta Citizens Review Board, please come.
All right, good afternoon, community members, Chair Boone. I was last here February 28th, so I'm coming in today to do an update on the MOU that we started working on with the APD. And on the screen here today, I'm providing the update and some changes to the MOU that we had made after receiving some feedback from the board and some other individuals. And I'm going to jump right into this. But before I get started with that, I want to thank Peter Amon out of the mayor's office, Lily Maldavi, Thomas Doxey, APD board members on this collaborative effort, and my ACRB staff, Deputy Director Marlo Smith and Deputy Director Sheena Robertson. Okay, so this MOU is for officer-involved shootings, death in custody, serious bodily injury, gun discharge cases between the ACRB and the APD. I'll start out with the commitments, as you'll see on the screen. Let's start with training. APD will invite ACRB and staff to APD staff training. APD will receive training on the ACRB process and patterns of complaints from ACRB staff. APD will receive lesson plans from ACRB in advance of their training sessions. On the right side, you have the ACRB commitments. ACRB staff will collaborate with APD every 2 years on training for the ACRB board to review officer-involved shooting investigations, including specific topics related to the use of force and employee rights. And the MOU spells out all that information. ACRB staff will provide training on the ACRB process and patterns of complaints, and APD staff, including new recruits. ACRB will perform unannounced spot checks on officer training. Next section, service level agreements. APD and ACRB will commit to meeting annual, quarterly, monthly, and biweekly with appropriate levels of leadership to provide updates and revisit the scope of the MOU. One of the major sections relates to the notifications. APD will notify the ACRB on changes of any policy or definition related to the use of force. APD will notify the ACRB officer-involved shootings, death in custody, serious bodily injury in custody, and gun discharge incidents occurrences within 48 hours via an email. APD will notify the ACRB on a closed officer-involved shooting, death in custody, serious bodily injury in custody cases, whether criminal or administrative, within 48 hours of the decision via email. It will include the ACRB on the office notification letter. ACRB will share its decision on officer-involved shooting, death in custody cases, serious bodily injury cases within 3 business days. As it relates to reports, APD commits to sharing updates with ACRB on officer-involved shootings, death in custody, and serious bodily injury in custody cases by maintaining accurate and up-to-date information of specific data points. And these data points include incident number, date of incident, OPS file number, status of receipt of APD closure notice, and file status of files with a GBI, status of files with the DA's office, District Attorney's office. We've also included issue resolution section. Both the Chief of Police and ACRB Executive Director will engage in a tiered issue resolution process, including phone calls and letters and emails to the ACRB, Executive Director, APD Chief, and can appeal to the ACRB Board or Chief Operating Officer and or Mayor for resolution under the MOU. At this point here, the board has received a copy of the MOU and they're reviewing it. I anticipate at the next monthly board meeting, which will be May 7th, May 8th. The board will have further discussion about it to decide on their position on the MOU. So we're looking forward to being able to move forward and continue to work. As it relates to, well, that's for the MOU. But I do want to update you on the investigators. We are actively interviewing for the 4 vacant investigative positions, and we are hopeful to have them filled in the very near future. If anyone knows a qualified investigator, please have them apply so that we can get these positions filled. I do want to thank you all for the 2 extra positions and for the increase in salaries, which has actually really made a difference in the quality that we're seeing coming in. We're not getting the numbers that we want as far as applications go. So a while back, someone had asked what could council do to help us with this. You can share that we're hiring investigators with your constituents, so we can really start backfilling these positions and hire everyone so we can make sure that these investigations are timely when they close and we receive them. That's my update on the MOU. I'll take any questions that you may have.
Do we have any questions from the body? Mr. Reed, I do have a question or two. How exactly will the additional 2 investigators positions improve the ACRB's ability to handle its caseload? And what specific challenges do you hope these positions will help alleviate?
Thank you, Chairwoman. What we're facing is 2 issues. We have an ongoing caseload that has grown quite a bit. We have 160 cases. These are not officer-involved shootings. These are regular cases that people have filed with us that have continued to come in. Over the first 3 months, we've received about a third of what we received at the same time last year. And then when you look at the officer-involved shooting cases, we currently have 3 that are in review. We anticipate over the next several months, as APD completes its process, that those officer-involved shootings will also come in. As it relates to the investigators, getting them in, getting them trained up, will allow us to be able to deal with that ongoing caseload and these officer-involved shooting cases. While the new investigators may not, because I don't know who's going to come in, be at the level to handle those complex cases, we'll be able to shift our veteran investigators to take on more of that caseload as we're training up the new investigators.
Thank you. Mr. Reed, APD agreed with 75% of ACRB's sustained findings in 2024. What steps does the ACRB take when APD does not agree with findings or fails to implement disciplinary actions? Are there any reoccurring challenges in this area?
Yes, thank you. First, let me say that under the ordinance, we cannot compel the chief or make the chief discipline or follow our disciplinary recommendations. What we provide to them is a recommendation as it relates to the disciplinary penalty following the guidelines of the disciplinary matrix. Once it goes over to the police chief, it goes through their process, and then they'll make that determination as to which level of discipline they're going to assign. Now, the way it works is when they make a disciplinary decision, they'll send it back to us, indicating what they have decided as it relates to discipline. what we've have received are assurances that they will be able to, when they send the letters back to us, they provide more information as to why they made the decision. And once we have that information, then we can timely start asking more questions as it relates to why the decision was made and making sure that there's a standard. Because the whole idea behind disciplinary decisions, or the matrix, is to make sure everyone has an expectation of what will occur when a disciplinary decision is made. It's going to be communication. It's going to be communication. Right now, we don't have the authority to compel the chief to make a decision.
Thank you. Next question. Can you elaborate on the ACRB's role in officer-involved shooting investigations, especially in terms of how your investigations intersect with those conducted by the GBI, APD, OPS, and the District Attorney's Office?
Yes, thank you. Okay, so as it relates to our role in those officer-involved shooting cases, when we receive a closed file, we go through the file doing a thorough review. One, making sure that all the investigation steps that needed to occur occurred. That everyone that needed to talk, that should have been interviewed, is interviewed. In one file I was looking at recently, we noticed that there were a number of witnesses that we did not see an indication in the file that they had been spoken with or interviewed. So that's something that our investigators are going to have to do to make sure that we have a complete picture of everything that occurred. And once we have that picture of what occurred, then we can do our report to make sure that there's transparency, because everything that we investigate that goes to the board is available for the public. And we like to provide that information so that the public understands what is occurring with all of our cases and the true facts of what happened based on the evidence in the file.
Mr. Reed, can you tell us exactly about the MOU?
Yes. The MOU is an understanding of each respective department's expectations of what needs to happen as it relates to those officer-involved shooting cases, death in custody, serious bodily injury, and gun discharges. One, it's about transparency. Two, it's about making sure that everyone is held accountable as it relates to what our duties and respective responsibilities are, and increase the timeliness of communication and information. We want to be able to resolve these issues early, well, not early, but we want to be able to resolve these issues timely in a manner that the citizens can trust that all the investigations that occurred is based on the facts, based on the evidence, and that everyone can have the confidence that we're holding officers accountable for their actions.
Next question. Does the ACRB have sufficient resources and staffing to handle the volume and complexity of cases it is mandated to investigate? If not, what steps are being taken to address these resource challenges?
Thank you, Councilmember Boone, Committee Chair. Well, with the addition of the 2 investigators and the increase in salaries, that's going to help. However, I want to give you a fact. The ACRB operates with a 44% vacancy rate. That's 4 vacancies for, well, now 4 vacancies with the investigators. But that's also the supportive staff that helps the investigations team that we've been operating with this vacancy rate for a while. For FY26, we requested $685,500 to fill all these vacancies that we have. You know, we were able to well, we've been shifting resources for a long time, and that's not going to work anymore. I know when I spoke with you in March, you were saying that let you know what we need. Well, we asked for the $685,500. So far, the finance department has identified $72,000 for FY26. So when we're looking at
You asked for 685,000.
500, yes.
And so far, you have only been given $72,000?
Yes. So, now, just looking at the simple math, one of the new investigators is 65,000. It's not counting all the other vacancies that we have. The hope is that funding will become available for us to be able to fill these positions. I mean, it's a critical need for us to be able to do this. Because
What's
we
the
have
most
all the
critical-
authority.
Mr. Reed, what's
Yes.
the most critical need that you see right now?
Investigators.
You
Investigators.
only have 2 positions left, right?
We have 4 with the 2 that you gave us.
So 4 total,
Yes.
okay. And
Yes.
2 vacancies. 2 vacancies.
We have 2 vacancies. Under the current staff right now, we have 2 vacancies. You guys added 2 more to it, so that's 4 that's vacant.
Okay,
And so we're working to try to fill those positions. But as I speak to you today, we would not go into FY26 right now with the money that we need to keep those positions. You know, so we continue to have conversations about that and hope that we'll have the funding that we need as those
so
people come on board.
So Mr. Reed, what I do appreciate about this is that you are letting us know on the front end that there is a problem. We do as a body appreciate you bringing this attention to us now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions from the body? Concerns? I'd like to recognize our Chief of Police, Chief Darren Schierbaum. Thank you for being present. Thank you. Mr. Reed, do you have anything else?
I appreciate the council's assistance and the mayor's office, definitely, and APD, and the ACRB staff. You know, civilian oversight is constantly a mechanism of improvement. And, you know, when you have people who see a problem and work together to try to resolve it, that's good. You know, so I'm just encouraged by that, and I hope that we'll get the citizens what they need, like we plan to.
Thank you. Mr. Overton, when is the next time we can get an update from Mr. Reed? When will he be available?
Well, we did 30 days for this one, so we can just do 30 days again. Is that possible?
We can do, let's do June, give him time. What about the 1st of June? Because this is very, very important to the citizens of Atlanta. So I would like to thank everyone who worked so hard on this, especially those that sat down with us and spoke with citizens, held the town hall meetings to get more information on this very, very critical component to the city of Atlanta. And Mr. Reed, we will send you a new date, and we will see you a little after 30 days. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Are there any announcements? Chief, will you give us the time and date of the opening of the new public training facility that will be open tomorrow morning.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. As you know, we started our move-in process at the new Atlanta Public Safety Training Center in December. We started actual full training. All of our recruit classes were transferred, as was our continuing education, and advanced training was transferred 3 weeks ago, and classes have been ongoing in those full capacities since then. Tomorrow, we will have the official grand opening of the campus. And these are exciting times, Councilmember Boone. I appreciate your support and the support of the committee for delivering a first-in-class training facility for our firefighters and our police officers. I think Atlanta will be very proud, and we're already seeing the positive impact in our attrition, and we're also seeing a positive impact in the recruitment into the organization. So thank you to you for your support of public safety in Atlanta, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chief. Also, since I have you, Peyton Road and ML King, there is a Chevron there where there is a lot of hanging out, and they do have the gaming machines. Peyton Road, ML King, all the way to 3657, where the shooting happened last week in Adamsville. Everywhere in between there, we have a lot of issues on ML King Jr. Drive at each and every gas station. So if you all would please help Major Clay, give him what he needs so that we can protect that entire quarter. And this is for Pat also, the Kentucky Fried Chicken at Baker's Ferry and ML King, the dialysis center. Since the weather is warm now, everybody is outside, and we want to get folks the help that they truly need and so that they can be safe. But from Peyton Road and Fairburn, Peyton and ML King, all the way past Fairburn to that Chevron, you all were so wonderful with Mr. Carter to help us with the Citco. But now that entire corridor seems to be inundated, and we need help.
Well, sure, we're properly addressing it, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Chief, and this meeting is adjourned.
On the agenda, the revised